Well, you're better off here than in the refugee camps. Aren't you glad you don't live here anymore?
You could do worse, Hawke. It's a roof. Always remember where you started, Hawke.
Back to Gamlen's. It's not so bad when he's not here, which is never. Our glorious home. I swear Gamlen painted with shit and beer.
Your uncle's estate, I take it? Your uncle must be happy to have his hovel back to himself.
Your house reminds me of a crate I once slept in on the docks of Val Royeaux. It's still standing. Will wonders never cease?
No offense to your uncle, but this house smells like really old cabbage. I was going to say something about being fond of that house, but who am I kidding? It makes Undercity look nice.
I wish we had the money for our own place. It's killing Mother to live in this filth hole.
Is that your house? Oh, it's not so far from mine. We're neighbours. Except for the different neighbourhoods thing. I'm sure you miss your uncle from time to time, but his house does smell very strange, even from the street.
You lived here? I'm sorry.
The elves should stand with us. They have suffered too.
I don't get here as often as I should, even as captain. Elves seem drawn here as much as they're pushed. At some point, are they not caging themselves? I wish we could do without places like this. I really do. Lowtown serves its purpose. It's not always a pretty one, but it's there. I'd double patrols here if I had my choice. Lowtown is trouble. Every piece of equipment in the Free Marches begins here.
It's not so bad, is it? But I suppose the walls aren't for me. Why do elves stay here if it's so horrible? All this squalor. Why do they allow themselves to live like this? A market I can afford, and I don't want a bloody thing. How much goes through here in a day? Is there enough trade across for Eldon to account for this?
I like Lowtown. It's an honest sort of place. People will rob you blind, but they're honest about it. Smells like smoke, burning metal, and eons of misery. Almost everything here's stolen from someone else. Looking for a ditch to lay face down in? I could recommend one. All the elves have run off to hide in their homes. Oh, that can't be good. Who designed this city? These wide open spaces are terrible for evading guards. Alienages. They're the same everywhere.
The elves who don't live here actually have it worse. I'd hate to be an elf in Darktown. Oh, right, the rusty metal spike district, my favorite part of town. Can we leave now? The Merchants Guild has their fingers in all these pies. Well, not the actual pies. They're clean as far as I know. Lowtown never changes, except for adding a bunch of horned giants, I mean. You know who I don't want to meet in a Lowtown alley at night? Pretty much anyone. This place rivals the Undercity for worst part of Kirkwall. Despite the name, Lowtown's not so bad. Just more likely to be destroyed by tidal waves than Hightown. A lot of people are afraid to come here at night. I don't know why. The thieves will still shoot you in daylight.
I just can't get used to all the noise in Lowtown. And the smell. What a come down for Mother to be here. Ooh, I wonder if they sell shoes.
The merchants here keep trying to sell me shoes. I'm not sure why. I still don't know what the big tree is for. It's sort of pretty, I suppose. Someone really ought to plant some flowers out here. Spruce things up. I keep getting lost here. The last time I went to the market by myself, it took me 4 hours to find my way home.
Why would anyone shop here instead of an actual store? People honestly choose to work in these conditions? Her Grace used to send me to spread the chant to the poor souls here.
Justice doesn't let me get drunk anymore. I kind of miss it. I remember more drunks last time we were here. And this is one of the better taverns around here.
I come here a lot. Better than being cooped up with Gamlen.
I still don't get the name. Did they hang someone here?
I think it's a stupid reference to being drunk.
It means being drunk.
Someone is hung if they are drunk, I think.
Actually, they did hang men here, by their feet, until they starved.
Good thing they were drunk then.
The tavern is never empty, even at this time of day. Free drinks for the guards, but accept, and you wake up in the alley.
The hanged man. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. Oh, look, that dead rat's still in the corner. Could we stop by the tavern? I'm thirsty. Ah, I do love seedy taverns. And the hanged man is the seediest of them all. Dark, dingy, and smells like a rat's bottom, but it's home.
My favorite spot in the whole city. The taverns in Hightown are all owned by the Merchants Guild. I'm calling this my suite because it sounds better than my slightly less filthy room in the Hanged Man. Come on in. I never get tired of this place. Come on in, Hawke. Have a seat. Here we are. Come on in, Hawke. I'll get a couple of pints and we can talk. If you want to see something funny, flirt with Edwina. Go on. I dare you. Did I pay my tab this month? I'll sort it out later. This is the best tavern in Kirkwall. It could use some cute dwarven serving girls, but otherwise, it's perfect. You want a pint while we're here, Hawke? I'll buy. If you want a drink, order it from Korth. In 3 years, Nora has never gotten my order right. You know that guy Marlowe at the bar downstairs? Don't make eye contact whatever you do. I like this bar. Everybody here knows your name. Edwina's the meanest waitress I've ever met, but she keeps my drink full. I think I might love her. If you try any of the beer nuts, make sure they aren't moving first. This is the best place to listen to gossip in Kirkwall. Want a drink? I'll put it on my tab. You'll like the Hanged Man, Hawke. Just don't order drinks from Nora. You should spend more time here. Buy the right people drinks and you can hear the details of every deal in Kirkwall. My palatial suite in the Hanged Man is your palatial suite, Hawke. Make yourself at home. Come on in. I've got a bottle of 12-year-old Navaran brandy we can split. I've got a room here, straight up the stairs. Can't miss it.
I think Uncle Gamlen comes here.
The sounds coming from inside are always so cheerful, but I never know what to do in there. Do you think there's time for Veric to tell us a story while we're here? Isabella said the next time we came here she would teach me to do something called body shots. The music here is so pretty, but I can never figure out the lyrics. Someone spilled ale in here, weeks ago by the smell.
Half of Ferelden is packed into this stinking place. They'd have done better to fight the Darkspawn. More refugees pouring in every day. Don't like this much, do you? I'd rather live here than in chains. I'm not getting many cases these days. I think most of the refugees have cleared out. Either they found jobs, or they're dead. Darktown. No better place to disappear. The sewers aren't half as bad as the deep roads.
A place where we should be coming together. For most, it's barely a nod as they pass. Watch yourself. Having a member of the guard along carries little weight here. Rule of thumb, if the criminal runs to the sewers, he's gone. Guard captain means nothing in here. People choose to live here? It amazes me. I don't like dark places. This is not where I do the most good.
Nice view of the sea, if there were windows. Well, now we know where the sewers lead. Adventure. I'm not feeling it. Turn a rock over, this is what you see. Can't imagine slaving in here.
An excellent place to hide. I'm surprised the Templars catch anyone in this city. Best be careful. Law does not exist in a place such as this. The true character of any city is found among its poor. The dregs of humanity down with its waste. Fitting.
I'm fond of a little dirt now and then, but was this really necessary? Poor sods. Look at them. There's no hope in this place.
I imagine Orzammar is like this, only with beards and an overwhelming sense of superiority. I've lived all my life in Kirkwall, and until now, I've managed to avoid coming here. Wish I'd kept that up. You know what I love about the undercity? Absolutely nothing. Could I suggest that we never come here again?
I should have left my good shoes at home. The refugees live here. It's almost enough to make me grateful for Uncle Gamlen. Why are we traipsing around in human waste again? How will we find anyone in this place? I wouldn't want to live in there. Oh, I won't complain about Uncle Gamlen's house anymore.
You know, I think this isn't a very nice part of Kirkwall. Well, this is certainly fragrant. At least we can't get rained on. This place would be nicer if they opened it up to get some sunlight. Of course, I guess Kirkwall would collapse then. Why would people want to live underneath the city? Apart from dwarves, I mean. My whole clan could camp in here and you'd never even find them. You know, I think this might not be the nicest part of Kirkwall. How does anybody live down here in the dark? Don't they bump into things? I think I stepped in something.
People live here. How dreadful. Before I met you, I had no idea places like this existed. Thanks for that. Why do these people not come to the chantry? The brothers and sisters would find a place for them. So many souls waiting to be brought to the light.
This is the only place in Kirkwall I feel safe. It's not a pretty home, but at least it's clean. I've been neglecting my patients lately. I should spend more time here. The Templars have become more active in their hunt for me. I won't be able to stay here long. These patients need me more than anyone in Hightown. Maybe I should find a nicer place. Qunari give me the creeps. No one is that dedicated to some abstract ideal. It's hard to tell, but do they seem grouchier than usual? As long as I live, I will not understand the Qunari.
The gates to the Qunari, they do not like visitors. There was enough trouble in Lothering with one Qunari.
Let's try not to anger the giants. We have enough enemies among our own kind. Are these the same Qunari as the one caged outside Lothering? I don't remember the horns. We had one Qunari in Lothering. It was enough.
I didn't think this city could smell any worse. Evidently I was wrong. It seems the Qunari aren't exactly in a hurry to return home. They say this harbour was created by the Magisters long ago. These warehouses are occasionally used to store things, but not just for clandestine meetings. Fish, fish and more fish. Ugh. Let's look for those crates.
If anyone tries to sell you clams, just say no. The last time I had clams on the docks, I was sick for a week. Sometimes, I come to the docks just to look at the boats. I just don't understand the Qunari. Sometimes I think their brains are twisted up in those horns of theirs. I thought I remembered a hat shop around here. Be careful. Look at someone wrong here, and you'll get a knife in the back. Of course, they hold their meetings in a warehouse by the docks. Doesn't anyone go there just to have sex anymore? A warehouse? I don't like being led around. Unless leashes are involved. And they're not.
I kind of like the Qunari. You always know what they want. Absolutely nothing. Have I mentioned that I hate this part of town? Maker help me, I'd rather go to the Merchants' Guild. Water. Pretty exciting, I know. I got used to this place being filled with oxmen. It's strange not seeing them around. What is that smell? I think someone's murdered an elf in the alley. Watch your step. Great. This reminds me that I have 5 shipping manifests to look over when I get home. What is that smell? Why does this place always smell? Bartram likes to make me deal with the harbor master. That man always smells like cod liver oil. Have I mentioned that dwarves are lousy swimmers? Just keep that in mind before you talk to any drunk sailors. Huh. Another secret society meeting in a warehouse. Do you think the owners charge them rent?
That beast in Lothering killed one of my best friends. I hate Qunari. Do you remember what that awful Qunari did in Lothering? I'm nervous having so many here.
I wander in here by accident sometimes when I'm trying to get home from the market. It's a scary place. Does anyone else think it smells funny here? Like really old, dead fish? I like it better here at night. You can't see the large, scary men as clearly. So many Qunari lately. Do you think they like it here?
Sometimes I wonder what goes on inside their heads.
They're so big and grim. What do you suppose would happen if I tickled one of them? Have I mentioned that I don't really like it here? I fell off the pier once. The harbour is really deep. You know, I sort of miss the Qunari. They didn't talk much, but they were easy on the eye. I don't know why, but I always feel very nervous being out here at night. Look at the ships. I wonder where they're headed.
I will never get used to the stench here.
I don't think it's a coincidence they picked a prison to house their mages. They put the Tranquil on display out here to intimidate other mages.
A mage is worth this kind of cage. How much worse is the magic in Kirkwall that this is needed?
How many people didn't make it out of here? We were lucky. Not the best view of the gallows, if there is one. It is unfortunate this place is necessary.
Those statues were meant to intimidate slaves. You see ones like them all over the Imperium.
I guess it's back to the wretched gallows. Personally, I could do without blood mages or Templars. Kirkwall isn't a bad city, but this view really does it no favours.
Can we skip the gallows? I've had my oppression for the day, thanks. I think that statue over there is a statement on modern life. Possibly the statement is, well, shit. I don't know what the ancient Tevinters used this place for, but I bet it wasn't making people feel at home.
Why would anybody make a place like this? Is that statue lady supposed to be someone important? She looks a bit cross. I think I saw sparrows in the rafters.
The gallows is rather dreadful, isn't it? Maybe the mages here would be more tractable if they were housed somewhere else. It is a mark of shame for Kirkwall to feature a place like this as a main attraction. I think a few of these Templars escaped the fire in Starkhaven. What's so bad about living in the Circle? Why can't mages just be happy with what they have? The Qunari should keep to their lands, and we to ours. These Qunari are never leaving Kirkwall. I don't know what they're waiting for.
I don't know which is worse. The rats or the people? The people here. They never leave Hightown's fancy walls. They have no idea what's brewing below them. Do you really need me along for this? Frankly, I prefer the refugees. If someone here tries to hire me again, I'm leaving.
When we're done in the deep roads, I'm buying everything. Walking in Hightown is like shopping with empty pockets. All this wealth. What are they even doing with it all? I wouldn't be caught dead in the rows.
I believe this market rivals Denerim, but I haven't visited in a very long time. Calm at the moment, but even Hightown has its troubles. Hightown is the best of Kirkwall. Just ask them. Hightown hides its worst elements very well, the things people keep behind locked doors. Money enough comes through here. Why we have such trouble with smugglers, I don't know. Keep moving. I'd rather not be mistaken for a client of the Rose, thank you. Getting a few looks in here. Hope it's because I'm a guard. Not the best place for the captain of the guard to be seen, Hawke.
I don't wander around Hightown much. I sort of stick out. I do love the way the merchants glare at me as if I'm going to steal something. Slavery or no, flesh is always for sale. Business appears to be good. Mind you, I imagine demand is fairly constant.
But Hightown. Everything fun takes place behind closed doors. Folks in Hightown are just as rotten as those in Lowtown. They're just better at hiding it. Don't worry, I'll keep my hands to myself. Ah, the Blooming Rose, where people come, then go. If you ever find yourself in there, ask for the Hunter Horn Special. You'll be glad you did. Apostate prostitutes? Apostitutes! The difference between a courtesan and a whore is... well, their shoes are nicer.
I don't think anyone's looking at their shoes.
I think your shoes are fine.
Look at you being funny. That might even get you a man someday.
Stay out of the shadows. There are 100 times more cut purses here than in Lowtown. This is some of the most expensive real estate in Kirkwall, usually paid for in body parts. How many servants do you think it takes to clean the rafters in this place? All the most interesting things in Kirkwall happen in Hightown after dark. True story. Don't make eye contact with the dwarf merchants here. I've skipped the last 5 guild meetings. It's pretty here at night. Once the nobles are out of the way, you can really admire the scenery. Ah, Hightown, where the rich go to piss their money away. This really is the best place in Kirkwall. Keep a hand on your coin, Hawke. There are more cut purses in Hightown than in the rest of the city combined. Be careful if you're going into the Rose. It's a favorite hangout of crime bosses and tax collectors. Madame Lucine runs the place for Harlan. Or with him. Or on him. It's a coterie thing. Don't look, but I think that whore's making eyes at you.
Hightown is so grand compared to Lothering. It's hard to think we might have lived here. Can we afford anything here? Mother must have played here as a girl. The Blooming Rose. What do you suppose goes on in there?
Why do they call this a brothel? Does it have something to do with broth? It doesn't really look anything like a rose. Maybe they should change the name. I'm not exactly sure why we keep coming here. There are so many... things. I don't even know what any of it is. Hightown is so much cleaner than the alienage.
We have much nicer courtyards in Starkhaven. I would rather be a lowly brother than live here among the glamour and deceit. Not one noble household here would raise a levy to support me. I used to frequent places like this. The number of times my parents had the servants drag me home.
You've certainly come a long way, Hawke.
Do you think people will ever start calling it the Hawke Estate? It's still hard to think of this as my home.
You should really post some guards outside your estate, considering all the trouble you get into.
You should do something about your locks. They're remarkably easy to pick.
My mother always said the Amels were the best family in Kirkwall.
I've heard the nobles grousing about the commoners moving up. Congratulations, Hawke, you ruined the neighborhood. If nothing else, you give this town respectability, my friend. Nice to see this place fixed up again, and keeps property values in the neighborhood high.
The outside of your house is so clean. Does someone wash it for you?
So pious, aren't they? So ready to believe that any harm they do is the will of the Maker. How can people who serve the Maker allow their own Templars such abuses? The Grand Cleric is a doddering fool. Kirkwall deserves better. The Grand Cleric cannot continue to wave her hands and pretend the problem is solved. She's as good as helping Meredith.
The chantry, not the symbol it could be. I'm uncomfortable around chantry sisters, all because of that red-haired trickster in Lothering.
It's not a chantry without Sister Leliana's singing, and her shock of red. Fell asleep during the chant once. They wrap your knuckles good for that. A lot of candles for the dead in there. Seems like a waste of wax.
Do you know that in Tevinter the chantry receives a tithe for each slave sold?
And then Isabella went to the chantry and saw that it was boring. Canticle of Isabella, stanza 1, verse 1. You smell that? Smells like repression, doesn't it? Let's go in and put out the eternal flame. Coming in here of my own free will feels wrong, like diddling a sister.
I'll bet. My sister's dead.
Why? Why do you say these things?
I like the chantry. This is the only place in Hightown where the Merchants Guild won't come looking for me. You know, I think the Chant of Light would be more popular if it had more battles in it. Just a hunch. The Grand Cleric reminds me of my mother. A really tall version of Mother, with a nicer hat. I've always kind of liked this place. It's like a building full of sweet old grandmothers.
I miss the chantry in Lothering. Sister Liliana told the best stories. I lit a candle there. For Carver.
The chantry is so tall. How do you suppose they take all those banners down to clean them? Poor Andraste. She looks so sad. I suppose it's because of mages or Tevinter or something.
I wish I could have stayed here forever. I never wanted to rule Starkhaven. Doesn't just being here bring peace to your soul?
I'm sure the Viscount never let a free mage step foot in there. Don't mind me. I'm just going to hide my face a little.
Another place that wouldn't have me. Let's just go.
The heart of law in Kirkwall. If I have to say something about it anyway. Not much room in the barracks, but there's nowhere I'd rather be. The heart of the city, for both commerce and crime, judging from my reports. Back to the barracks. I never tire of it. Back to the barracks. For how much longer, I wonder. My term as captain has not been popular here, but you get used to it. It's different here as captain. Feels like family.
The trappings change, but power here is the same as power anywhere. They will not want me in this place. Let us not linger. Ah, and here we are in the center of power. Smell the oppression, everyone. I'm rather conspicuous here. I've seen less ostentatious palaces.
You can't miss the keep. It practically screams nothing fun ever happens here. Strangely, this is the best place in the city for working shell games and changing forged coins. After what happened here, I can't imagine anyone's eager to move into the Viscount's palace. I spend way too much time here.
Perhaps Carver would have worked here, with Aveline. I wonder if Mother has received an audience with the Viscount yet. I hope Mother convinces the Viscount to give us the estate.
Those are the meanest looking birds I've ever seen, even if they are just statues. If the guards are inside the keep, how do they guard it? Did you ever notice how cold the pavement is here? No? Just me. Everything here is cold, hard stone. I wish I'd worn shoes with soles now. This place is so sad now. The stones remember what happened to the Viscount.
My father always said Viscount Dumar cared too much for his own importance and not enough for Kirkwall.
Good. Privacy at last. Welcome to my home. Luxurious accommodations for a former slave, don't you think? I wonder how long I will be allowed to remain here. I would offer you something to drink, but the kitchen is remarkably bare.
Generations of slaves died in that mine. I can still feel their cries for justice. No wonder they call this the Dragon Age. The bloody things are everywhere. I hope the rest of the dragons haven't heard this place is on the market. So, I guess there are still no good jobs for Ferelden's then.
There are jobs to be had if this is all you want. I'd rather starve.
A place of slavery and necessity. Kirkwall could not have existed without its mines. People work where they can, even here.
They have good reason to call it the Bone Pit. Long ago, slaves that dropped dead from exhaustion were thrown into a pit for all the others to see. It served as intimidation and convenient disposal. Most dragons kill for food or territory. These bodies were not devoured, so they must see this place as their own. This ground is cursed. Only wretched or ignorant souls would linger here. Dragons, further proof this place is cursed. Many slaves died here. Their cries linger in the stones. This cave stinks of death. These people won't leave here alive. There's a foul wind coming from that cavern. I smell death.
There was a brothel on the slummy side of Antiva City called the Bone Pit. It was entirely different from this.
Oh, look at them. They're like kittens who want to eat you.
This is, beyond a doubt, the most wretched place I've ever been. The sooner we get back to Kirkwall, the better. Seems the dragons want their pit back. However much Hubert pays the miners, it's not enough. When I tell the tale of slaying these dragons, I'll make them 3 times taller. There's work here, but I wouldn't call it paying work.
Why would anyone work here?
The dragon is truly the most magnificent of the Maker's creations.
If we had a giant rock to push uphill, this would perfectly sum up my life. What is it with elves and blood magic? I haven't had good experiences with wilderness. In my experience, all Dalish women are crazy.
How long must we hike this mountain? I tire of majestic wonder. I'm not fond of wandering the wilderness. We'll end up wolf bait. Someone goes to the trouble to be this isolated. You let them. I don't climb mountains.
I prefer the city. It's more ordered. It's hard to believe we came all that way to get here. The guards don't come this far out. It's better for both sides.
No herd of Hala. I thought all Dalish clans had them. You can feel how thin the veil is up here. Perfect place to bury your dead. The ancient elves were brilliant.
What could go wrong climbing an ancient elven burial site? Nothing at all, I'm sure. If all the elves fought all the Qunari, who do you think would win? Watch out for the squirrels. They can be vicious little bastards. And now we're taking a stroll alongside a magical horned thing through the worst part of Kirkwall. Great. Elven landships. Screw sea ships, I want one of those.
Well, by all means, let's go up to the angry wandering elves and say hello. Dondraste, sanctified ass. Why would anyone make the ground vertical? This place gives me the creeps. It's probably the name. They should call it the Pie Fields. Everyone likes pie. This outdoors thing is growing on me, like a tumor. Something about this whole creepy ancient magic thing makes me nervous. Oh, hey, nature. I've heard about this. Thought it was just a rumor. I haven't met that many Dalish, and already I'm not crazy about them. I'm not the outdoors type. The sooner we're back in the city, the happier I'll be.
It's nice to see trees again. I'm not really a city girl. Is this safe? I thought the Dalish kill outsiders. I need to get more exercise.
My poor clan. The sooner they move away from here, the better. Can you smell that? The wind. I'd started to forget what fresh air was. I hate to say it, but my ancestors were not thinking clearly when they decided to bury people on top of a mountain. It occurs to me, I don't know how Sundermount got its name. Certainly isn't elven, is it? Oh, is that a trillium? I love trilliums. Beautiful flowers. They smell a bit like garbage, though. Very sad.
Where are you going? We can't leave yet. We haven't been to the altar.
I think the mountain has actually gotten sadder since I've been away.
No. No, you're going the wrong way. We've got to head up the mountain, not down. I've heard humans have a poor sense of direction. But you do know that's the wrong way, right?
This would be an excellent place for a fox hunt. The mountain air is invigorating.
It's nice to get some fresh air. Kirkwall starts to stink after a bit. We're out of Kirkwall, but not out of the Knight Commander's reach.
You can almost see home from here. What's left of it, I guess. Not exactly welcoming, but it's a nice break from Kirkwall.
I feel like there's a different law at work in this place. Someone else's rules. Outside the city, outside the rules. That's what they like to think.
Traipsing through dirt. Why the Dalish enjoy this, I'll never know.
You enjoy a crowded city so much more.
It's a stench I'm more familiar with, yes. The Wounded Coast? Appropriate. Well, it's official. I have travelled all the way from the northern coast to the southern.
What are we looking for again? Wood? In the wilderness? Sure, that shouldn't be a problem. I don't care what people say. The sound of waves is not soothing. We're surrounded by nothing for as far as the eye can see. Why do we keep coming here?
I can almost see Ferelden from here.
I bet people would come here more often if they called it the Happy Coast. Oh! I think I saw a fish jumping. Is the coast really wounded? How did that happen? Can't it be healed?
Oh, that's quite the view.
Do you think we could go swimming later? I think I liked it better inside the city.
I've never seen the ocean. All we've got in Starkhaven is the Menanta River. As impressive as that is, I suppose.
Why do your people build so many bloody roads anyway, Varric? Where were they trying to go?
Anywhere but here. I mean, you have to question the collective sanity of people who live in a city powered by raw lava running through its walls.
So, you're not having any warm, dwarven feelings of homecoming?
The only road Orzammar needs points straight up.
I swore I would never come down here again. You sure you want to be down here? The last time it really didn't end well. Why do I keep making friends with people who want to spend all their free time in the bloody deep roads? This is why I left the Wardens. I hate the blighted deep roads. Just a few short years and the deep roads are crawling with darkspawn again. Delightful. Darkspawn ahead. I can still sense them.
Seems like the deep roads are deep for a reason. A dangerous place. But if you're sure this is where you need to be, I'm with you. You made your fortune here. Was that not enough? Will you be all right down here after what happened with Carver?
So this is where darkspawn come from. Bastards.
Why would the Maker create so many darkspawn?
I should have listened to Mother.
If the Darkspawn claim this as home, I say we take it like they took ours. I'm surprised these tunnels don't simply collapse.
Dwarves made them.
Then I'm surprised they're not smaller. Just get me down there, and I'll make sure we clean up. It's like I'm cold inside, straight through, and I can hear something. We're in it now. We have to keep moving. There are darkspawn everywhere.
We're lost, aren't we? We're going to die down here. I'm too young to die. I don't like closed spaces, I really don't.
I hope this won't be a repeat of the last time you were down here.
Which ones are the stalactites and which are the stalagmites? I never remember. I miss the sky. This all feels wrong. Evil is watching us from the darkness. It must be hard returning to the place where you lost your brother. Think positive, Meryl. The deep roads have a prodigious collection of rocks. What a terrible place to get lost. Not that there are many good places for that, I guess.
It was our sins that unleashed the darkspawn on the world. And you came down here to make your fortune? Why?
It's official. My ancestors were completely crazy. How long do you suppose it's been since anyone walked here? Other than darkspawn, I mean. I'm getting truly sick of looking at stalagmites, or are they stalactites? Shit, I don't know. Andraste's ass, dwarves actually live down here? On purpose? What in blazes for? I will not be sorry to see daylight again. I'm not looking forward to this. Last time we were down here, we both lost a sibling. I've got to say, Hawke, I don't trust any dwarf who'd come out here of his own volition.
Darkspawn, another charming gift from the Magisters. I wonder how much the dwarves have simply left behind. Or forgotten. Brave of you to return here, considering what happened to your brother.
I never thought you would still be with me. It is still a thrill to turn and see you beside me. I appreciate your help and support. Your support has meant the world to me. You take a grave risk in trusting me. I can't go on like this. I miss my cat. I never thought I'd say this to you, but hear, hear. It doesn't matter what I do now. The wheels are in motion. I'm leaving. Don't expect to see me here again. Our cause is nearly lost. You've made it abundantly clear where you stand, champion. I have business to attend. Business you're too good to be a part of. The time for talk is over. The battle is about to begin. Leave me. I have preparations to make. Leave me in peace. I have much to do. This is quite a collection of books. Blood magic? Necromancy? Where did he get all these? When it's this quiet, that's when they attack. I'm just saying. Looks like the Amels didn't hate your father enough to throw all his possessions away. Your mother. I'm so sorry. I can't believe any mage would do such a thing. I can't believe you sent that boy Fainreal to the Circle. You know what will become of him there. It's not the worst place to be trapped like rats. I am so sorry about your sister. She seemed a fine girl. She deserved a better end. I'm sorry about your brother. He was a bit prickly, but he would have grown into a fine man. He deserved better. I think your brother will like the Wardens. He'll get to be rude and be a hero. I'm going to attend the girl's funeral. Perhaps her parents will believe she died at the Templar's hands. Your sister will come to terms with the Wardens. If she survived the joining, she has the strength to do all they will ask of her. Blood magic. Someone's been naughty. I get so furious when mages try to oppose Templars by turning to demons. There is no better way to ensure we will never be free. I think we're better off focusing on the task at hand. It's too dangerous here to stop and chat. Wait until we're in the city. We should talk when I'm home. It's no longer safe for me to speak in public. Let's talk at my clinic. I would like to talk, but not here. When you have time, let's return to my clinic. I'd rather not talk with so many people around. Maybe back at my place, such as it is. Not now. What I have to say requires privacy. This isn't the place for a long heart-to-heart. Let's get back to civilization. I need your help again. Can we speak privately? Perhaps in my clinic? We must stay alert out here. We can talk in Kirkwall. Don't start needling me now. We're busy. I've been thinking, and we have much to discuss. But only when no other ears are listening. Please, let's not get into anything here. We can talk in private at my clinic. The Templars have ears everywhere. We shouldn't talk here. We have more important things to do than chat. My words are for your ears only.
Nothing going on, but trouble tends to follow you, so I'm keeping an eye out. These streets should be safe at night. Care to help out with that? You'd think the Templars would feel some kinship with the guardsmen. This is not the order Wesley showed me. Hello, Hawke. Another time? I'm a little busy.
Your friend has been hurt. There are some poultices in our pack you can use.
I'm with you if you need me, Hawke. Just say the word. Take point. I'll be rear guard. Anders is a warden. He may want to help with this. You have an uncle here. I hope he has connections. No one else seems to. I don't make my guards fight gangs in dark corners, but if you'd like to help... Let's keep the damage to a minimum, shall we? I've walked away from too many wastelands for one lifetime. Is this the Fade? But it is so like the world. I don't want to think about it. What's the captain of the guard doing in the Fade anyway? I'm with you if you need me, Hawke, and I'm watching, just to be safe. If the deep roads is what you want, you have the coin to do it. Point the way, Hawke. We need to talk. In the barracks, please.
It's a pretty evening, don't you agree?
Dark, dank, and the company is troubling. Lovely.
Why would anyone need so much poison? Is he planning to murder all of Kirkwall?
Everyone seems so worried lately.
I don't think those are men in the shadows. They're corpses.
You know, I'm starting to think Sandal is watching me. I'm sure there's something. Maybe knock-knock jokes?
The city is being torn apart around us. They'll never get this cleaned up.
This place is so dismal.
This is so exciting.
Do you think they'll kiss?
I hope they kiss.
I saw a woman in the alienage that was desperate for help. If we have time, maybe we could speak with her.
More demons. Fainreal suffering draws them the way pastries draw Veric.
When you have a moment, maybe we could talk? Maybe later, we could talk? Back at my house, I mean? I'll clean, I promise.
Now is not the time to chat. Perhaps back in Kirkwall. I would be glad to speak with you, but not here. The mansion would be a better place to talk. Your brother seemed a fine young man. I'm sorry for his loss. This place is known, even in Tevinter. This assassin is strange indeed. Why do you think he would give away his position? Sometimes you just know trouble is coming. I would not wish your sister's end on anyone. Accept my condolences. Whatever you need, I am ready to assist. I don't want to talk about this. Let's go. I am yours. I enjoy following you. Tell me, and it is done. We should move on. Always a pleasure. Yes, my friend?
Huh. It's so quiet you could hear a mouse fart. I'm not stopping to talk out here. We'll get into it back at the house in Kirkwall. I have never seen such reverence. Not even in the chantry. So this is where Mother's from. Charming place. Looks like the Amels didn't hate Father enough to throw all his possessions away. Sure, go, make the family proud. I'll stay here as ordered. We'll make a difference whatever the outcome. How powerful are these blood mages? Can we do this without aid? Mother's dear brother had better come out of the damned woodwork. And soon.
What in the bloody blight are these? The Majors raised the dead!
Nice place. Maybe Gamlen could move here. Why does everything we do have to involve magic? This new life we're after is a little underwhelming. I don't know where I fit, but I am with you. I'm with you. Trust in that. I'll keep watch if you need to stop for a moment. I'm with you, brother. For now. We still need to get that amulet up Sundermount. Started it, better finish it. I don't know if this will help, but I do feel like hitting someone. Get your breath while you can. And Mother said I was the stubborn one. Let's not waste time with more petty work. We have the money for the deep roads. Head for the door. If the will is so important, let's get it back to Mother. Mother will want to see us before we leave. I suppose we should deal with Mother's estate. It matters to her.
I'd like a little one-on-one time. I'll be at the Hanged Man later. I've got something to tell you, but it can wait till we're back in Kirkwall.
We can talk later if you want. Right now we have other problems.
You want to chat? Maybe come by the tavern later?
We'll talk later, don't you worry. Hawke, I have something to tell you. At your house, very, very soon.
I'd like to speak with you once we're back in the city.
Oh, the Black Hand! A blend of 27 toxic plant essences with a healthy dollop of cobra venom for that extra kick. That poison will kill a man in 2 breaths. Can I have it? Whatever that was, I dislike it on principle.
Something about this place is unsettling. It's like underwear that never quite sits right. Did you want something? I'm trying very hard not to get eaten here. If you're not going to get drunk with me, I'm afraid I can't take you seriously. What's that foul smell? Is that you? No, wait. That's just me. Have you ever been out in the open ocean in a storm? It's the best feeling in the world.
You take me to all the nice places.
Necromancy. And here I thought I was twisted. I once knew a sailor like you. We lost him in a hurricane. Very sad. I think I need a bath. Do you think I need a bath? I'm bored of this. We should do something fun. You're like an itch I can't scratch. Or something. I'm not good at metaphors. Anything interesting happening around town? If you keep prodding me like that, I'm going to start taking it the wrong way. Your hair looks funny in this light.
If we're chasing wardens, perhaps Anders should come along.
Who keeps hiring these discount thugs? Quality investments pay off, people.
This is it. I figured the Fade would be full of sex and boats and violence. I mean, based on my dreams.
I found this amazing hat shop in Lowtown. Back off! I had no idea he was your man.
Do you think the mages will reward us? With magic jewellery, perhaps? What kind of reward will the Templars give us? Not a copy of the chant, I hope.
I knew a man who dressed up in his wife's clothing. He had so much fun with it. When was the last time you were with a woman?
Never. Women are harlots who seek to steal my life essence.
Really? We're going to just waltz in here and fight dozens of blood mages? Ourselves? All right, I'm game.
If you wanted to tie me up, you could have just asked.
I'm sorry, I don't speak never get sex again. I heard about Carver, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. I'm so sorry to hear about Bethany. I didn't need another reason to hate the Darkspawn.
I don't know if that stuff we picked up is iron bark, but I bet that alchemist won't either. Let's go back to town. Step into my office, Sora. Let's talk. Time for a story, Hawke. What do you say we head over to the Hanged Man for a bit? Let's head to the Hanged Man. We should talk, and I'd rather do it where I know who's spying on us. Hawke, no. Let's save this for when we get back. We'll go to the Hanged Man and talk. This place reminds me way too much of the Merchants Guild.
It's amazing you humans ever built a civilization if this is where you sleep every night.
Nice job getting us those maps. I'd say Bartrand will be well, less sour is the best he gets. Might be a good time to check back home. You'll be gone for a while after all. Destroying the Circle. I'll put that on the list of things I wasn't expecting to do today. Didn't I hear something about you needing to see the Dalish? You might want to do that. No telling when they'll move on. I'm guessing these blood mages aren't going to lie down and die nicely. We need to be prepared for anything. Since Bartrand's busy buying new undershorts, let's check into that elf I saw in the alienage. Couldn't hurt. I think you've got enough coin together to get in on the expedition. We ought to go see my brother. I always wondered what humans meant by dreams. Can't say I care for it. Love will be in the air. Also arrows. The old family crest. If you squint and hold it sideways, it looks like a pregnant nug. But maybe that's just me. A mage who plays with dead people. Charming. If we're going to the deep roads, it may be good to bring Anders along. He has that whole warden sense thing going for him. Maybe check in with your family before we go. Nothing in the deep roads is as scary as angry relatives. I hear that you're seeing some Qunari in Lowtown. Getting serious, even. Are wedding bells in the air by any chance?
This isn't the place to talk. Let's go home when we have a chance. Carver needs healing. I have a poultice. Have him use this. Can we keep going? I don't want to be a standing target. Don't look back. Just keep going. I hope we can get into the city soon. I don't know what will happen if we have to go elsewhere. I guess you're leaving for the deep road soon. I would have come if you asked, but thank you for letting me stay here. Do you think the Templars will find us here? Maybe we'd be safer with the other refugees. The people we're meeting. I'm not sure who's worse, the apostates or the Templars. No. No Templars in this family. I just keep waiting for the Templars to knock on that door. I can't wait to see what our ancestral estate was like. The Amel crest. Mother described it, but this is the first time I've seen it. Wouldn't it feel like something to live in a house with this above the door? Can you imagine? Mother gave all that up for Father. What do you think that seeker wanted? I didn't get the feeling she was done here. Those are human bones, aren't they? I'm going to be sick. I'm just going to stand in this shadow. Over here. Wait, what about the amulet? We haven't delivered it yet. What do you think that witch will do to us if it gets lost? We should see Mother before we go. And Gamlen too, I suppose.
I think Grandfather is smiling now, seeing me holding his bow.
What is it with you archers and your grandfather's bows? Do none of you get along with your fathers?
What is he talking about? Traveling with you is never dull, Hawke. I am so sorry about your mother, Hawke. I've put a remembrance for her on the chantry's memorial wall. I'm glad you returned safely from the Fade. Did Anders ever tell you what he wanted with the chantry? Perhaps we should go to the chantry. There's more space to talk there. That goes against everything the Order believes. The right of tranquility is a last resort.
Talk to me when you've seen a friend with his mind in shreds, choir boy.
I've met Sir Ulrich. He is certainly not the face I would want put on the Templars.